How do I find ghostwriting clients, especially those who are willing to pay my rates? That's probably the biggest question I'm going to try and answer in this whole How to Become a Ghostwriter series. If you missed part 1, which is all about how I got started ghostwriting books, and part 2, which is about setting ghostwriting rates, I will link both of those in the description below. Today, let's talk about finding those clients who are out there who want you to write their books. I did cover some of this in part 1, but I'm gonna go over it again really quickly because it really is essential. First of all, of course, you need to publicize your ghostwriting services. This should, at the very least, be a website that includes a detailed bio, links to your published books, testimonials from any previous clients, and samples of your writing, along with your contact information, of course. You might want to include your rates up front, or you might want to wait until the client reaches out and contacts you. I think either way is fine. You'll get a lot more exposure if you offer your services on a marketplace like Fiverr, Upwork, or Reedsy. Again, I went into this in a lot more detail in part 1, but I use Reedsy and I highly recommend it. See the description for links if you'd like to check it out. An added benefit of these third parties is that they will generate a contract between you and the client and take care of payments. So let's say you've already got all of that, and maybe you've been blasting out your ghostwriting services on social media too. And you know you have to be patient, you know this takes time to build, but months are passing and you're still not getting clients, or maybe you're getting some requests, but nobody is really willing to pay your rates and they're constantly trying to bargain you down to a lower rate. What should you do? I went back and looked at the very first message interaction between myself and my very first ghostwriting client. He did contact me through Reedsy, and he had already checked out my profile there, my website, and he had gone to Amazon and looked up a bunch of my novels as well. He was interested, and when I told him my rates, he was okay with that, but he requested that we have a phone call. And of course I said yes. We had a chat that was probably no more than 15 minutes about his book and his vision for the story, and that was it. He hired me. Looking back on it, I think I overlooked at the time how important that phone call really was. Because when I flip the scenario, when I imagine that I'm the one who is about to pay someone, a stranger, thousands of dollars to work on this creative project that I'm highly invested in, no matter how great their online presence or their credentials are, I just need that confirmation that they're a real human being. And not just that they're a real human being who genuinely cares about storytelling. I would want a phone call or a Zoom chat or a Skype chat too, absolutely. So I'm gonna make that tip number 1, and it's something I did not do back then. Upfront on your website, on whatever profiles you have advertising your ghostwriting services, offer a 30-minute phone call or a Zoom chat or whatever you want, and make sure to clarify that it's free. Now, let's get into exposure. You might be wondering whether or not it's worth it to advertise. And I mean, advertising works. If you have the budget and you want to go ahead and invest in that, I say go for it. But I know personally, when I was first starting out, I couldn't afford a Facebook ad campaign or anything like that. In fact, it's been 2.5 years since I started offering freelance ghostwriting services, and I haven't paid for advertising once. Like I said, it was a slow start for me. That first year in particular, I was just going client by client, trying to get those good reviews, and slowly more requests started rolling in. During the second year of offering ghostwriting services, I started this YouTube channel. My channel is about a year old as of today, and over the last 6 months, I've started to notice something. About 1 in 5, 1 in 6 of the requests I get from potential clients asking about my ghostwriting services, they mention this YouTube channel. Either they came across one of my videos when they were searching for ghostwriters, and that's how they found my profile and website, or they were searching for a ghostwriter, my name came up, they did their research, Googled Michelle Schusterman, and came across one of my videos or maybe my whole channel. Either way, seeing me on video talking about writing, talking about storytelling, showed them that I was a real person who writes books for a living, and that's what encouraged them to reach out to me. Am I saying that you need to start a YouTube channel in order to be a ghostwriter? No, not at all. Could it help? Yeah. Look, it's a ton of work, but it's free marketing. I could say the same thing for having a podcast or starting a blog where you talk or write about ghostwriting, about writing, about storytelling. Honestly, those 3 options, a video series, a podcast, or a blog, in my opinion, those are going to be significantly better marketing tools for you than paid advertising. Why? Because every day people are actively searching for information about ghostwriting, ghostwriters, and just the writing process in general online. And what do they find? Videos and podcasts and blog posts. That impact, that kind of material, is more meaningful than just randomly seeing an advertisement when they're watching a video or doing something on some other corner of the internet. But hey, look, if none of those options sound appealing to you, don't run away yet. I do have other suggestions. But if you are the kind of person who loves to talk craft, if you like talking about ghostwriting, about writing, about telling stories, about your process, making videos, podcasts, and or blog posts is super fun. It really is a lot of hard work, but it is also just so effective at drawing in more clients. As a side note, I said in part 1 that you don't need a social media presence, and I stand by that. I still really don't have one aside from my YouTube channel. Obviously, social media is free advertising too, and it can't hurt. If you already have a large audience, it might really help you. But the difference to me between an Instagram or Facebook or Twitter campaign and the video, podcast, blog route is that this offers information people are actively searching for versus this, which they just happen to see as they scroll by. Also, these tend to include so much more information. You can say you're an expert on social media, and I'm not calling you a liar, but over here, you're proving it. You're adding legitimacy. But that's okay. Let's say all of that is off the table. For whatever reason, you don't want to do all of this work. And again, it is a lot of work, so I get it. You'd rather pay for advertising. Cool, absolutely go for it. Advertising does work, but if I could offer past Michelle some advice back in 2018 when she was just getting started with this, my advice wouldn't be pay for advertising. Because again, advertisements, just like social media, it's not really proving you're an expert. So no, my advice would be this. Create at least one video and embed it on the front page of your website so that potential clients see it as soon as they land on your site. In this video, talk about ghostwriting. Talk about your writing process. Talk about your novels. Talk about what got you started in storytelling. Just talk about what you do and why you love doing it to show those potential clients that you are a real person who is passionate about storytelling. You don't have to have a bunch of fancy equipment. You can use your phone, but do try to make it as high quality as you can, especially when it comes to the audio. People tend to click off of videos faster if the audio is really low, hard to hear, if there's a lot of extra background noise. If a potential client can see you and listen to you talk, I bet they're going to be a lot more interested in setting up a chat with you and hopefully hiring you. That said, I know there are a lot of reasons you might be unable or unwilling to create a video of yourself and put it up on your website. In that case, my next choice would be an audio clip. You can easily record an MP3 sort of self-interview talking about writing, ghostwriting, your writing process, why you love storytelling. Again, as good a quality as you can, although you don't have to go nuts and buy a bunch of fancy equipment. And if that's not an option for you, go to number 3. Write a few essays on those topics and add those to your website. This should be written in first person, like you're talking to the client, a little more casual. Share anecdotes about things you've learned on your writing journey. Again, this is all about establishing yourself as an expert and showing potential clients that you are a real person who is passionate about writing books. So everything I've suggested here, I feel like I could split this into 2 levels. Level 1, create at least one video, audio clip, or essay in which you get a little more personal and share about your writing journey or your writing process. Embed it someplace on your website, preferably the front page where potential clients are going to see it right away. Level 2 is to go all in. Create a series of videos, a podcast, a blog, something where every week or every month you're updating, you're adding new content where you talk about the nitty-gritty details of your writing process, ghostwriting, your books, your life as a writer. Again, only do this if it sounds fun to you. I genuinely love creating videos on my YouTube channel, but it is, like I keep saying, a lot of work. And if you try to force yourself to do it when you're not super into the idea, same goes for blogs, same goes for podcasts, you're gonna burn out. It's not gonna be fun and it's not gonna be effective. I will add this though, while it is significantly more work, it also really ups your game. The more content you're constantly putting out there that establishes you as a ghostwriter, the more frequently and the higher you're going to turn up in search results when people out there are searching for a ghostwriter to hire. One more way to get ghostwriting jobs faster: repeat clients. Of my 10 most recent ghostwriting clients, 5 of them were repeats, as in they were clients of mine last year or the year before, and they came back to hire me to write another book. How do you get that? By developing a collaborative ghostwriting process that clients love, and that is going to be the topic for part 4 in this series. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you know when that video goes up. If you found this helpful, I would appreciate it if you hit that like button, and I will see you guys later this week with another video. Bye.